I believe so. From the EQ
So
team,
let's check out. Let's check it
yeah,
out.
request all the speakers to
Uh,
please keep the video feed on, so it will be easy for us to identify.
what do you say? That?
Yes, I believe so. So I'll start now. Uh, okay, so very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all for the EQ webinar on women in solar industry in the Middle East. This event is supported by Middle East Solar Industry Association, MESIA. So I'll start with a brief introduction about organizers. At EQ, we started our journey 12 years ago with a monthly magazine on solar energy in print and digital. Since then, we have also been publishing daily e-newsletters. We have been keeping a daily updated news website. So 12 years ago, it was all a very, very dark future of which way renewable energy is going to go. But we had this immense love and respect for this and probably had an intuition that this would really turn into a miracle. And today we call that solar energy. It is what we call as a miracle uh, in present times. And the miracle is only going to get grander and bigger with time. So the publishing platform aims to give the industry and the professionals a knowledge sharing, knowledge gaining platform uh, worldwide with news, articles, policy and regulation information about the case studies, technology, innovation launches, product launches, etc. Then we have the events platform in which we have conferences, webinars, various kinds of events. Then we have some trainings, product launches, buyer seller meets, etc. So all the event platform aims to provide the industry and its professional a platform for interaction, exchanging their views, speak their heart and mind out, get together with like-minded people and businesses to get a platform to help them connect globally and grow their businesses. So this has been about EQ. Now, a very, very interesting topic that we accidentally came across with women in solar industry in the Middle East. So solar producing energy or solar energy, primarily it's an infrastructure sector and solar is one field which has broken this misnomer of that infrastructure is man's world. So I'm very glad that women are having served this sector and participating in this sector success and contributing to it in various roles, right from leadership roles to various mid-level and executive roles as well. And definitely with their contribution, the sector is growing worldwide. So the webinar aims to definitely celebrate the success of the role of women in this sector and also to kind of get their views on various aspects such as policy, regulation, market outlook, what are the opportunities, what are the challenges, how the ecosystem can be evolved to make it more suitable for more and more women to join, how the women who are currently working in this sector can inspire more and more women to join this sector, know about clean and green energy and its future. With this objective, we have been active and we have done these webinar on women in India, in Southeast Asia, Africa, and now we've come to Middle East. So today we are hoping that we'll have some amazing discussion and we'll have only women talking and men listening. Uh, I am very, very thankful and glad to announce a very distinguished set of panelists. First of all, I'm thankful to Hadis Merzel, CEO of NG's C&D Limited. Thank you
thank you.
very much for agreeing to moderate the session and join. I'm thankful to Messia and I'm thankful to Laura Kaplan, Legal Director, Messia and Senior Legal Counsel, NG. Thank you, Laura. I welcome Iman Adil, RE consultant, Sumaya Nasir Al Rawahi, CEO and founder, Green Universe Enterprise, Noor Mosa, Senior Sustainability Consultant, Alpine Limited, Abla Gado, GM, South Delta Electricity Distribution, Subrata Rajendran, Chief Engineer Process, ENI, Sandhya Prakash, Founder and MD, Bacon Energy Solutions and Technology, and Ola Jamal Hassan, Solar Technical Engineer at Jubail Brothers Solar. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all, and we are on set for a very good discussion. Just let's set some basic rules. I request all of you to keep your mics on mute mode, except only when you're talking or the moderator is intervening. Please unmute it. Rest all attendees, please keep on mute mode. Regarding the video feed, so all speakers are requested to keep the video feed on at all times. I request all the other attendees to keep it off. And for networking, make maximum use of the chat box for Q&As, for networking, and any question and answers. So answering can happen either on the chat box or also speaker can take it up. So with this thought, I'll leave it to the moderator now to run the show. Over to Hadis Merzel to start the session. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Anand. That was a very nice introduction, and you're probably very proud about EQ Magazine. And I am very happy to be here today and to see all of these amazing women in the Middle East. I hope that we are doing here a little history about women, Middle East, and renewable energy. So I will give you some words, some background about myself. I am also, like EQ Magazine, I founded our company, which is called Engis, located here in Israel. And Engis was first concentrated about high voltage assets. And around 2014, we were also dealing with solar energy. And today, Engis is concentrated about personal power generation, how to help each entity have its own generation and storage sources so he can trade with the grid by himself. And of course, solar source, PV, is one of the major sources for every entity and family here in Israel. So I'm very happy to see you, women. And I would like, after Anand introduced each one of you and what you do, so I will present the first question, but I will be very happy that before the answer that you will give us, you will also tell us a little bit about yourself and the company, what you are doing, and maybe a personal message from yourself. I must say that my personal message is that I wish all of us peace in the whole Middle East with renewable energy and a lot of women in this sector. So let us start. I would like to start with you, Laura. How are you today?
Hi, Hadis. Thank you. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. So, Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself and the company.
Hi. Yes, I'm legal director of MISIA, which is the Middle East Solar Industry Association. I've been in that role for about the last year and a half. My day job, as it were, is senior legal counsel in the business development department of ENGIE, based here in Dubai. I am a lawyer with 12 years of experience, 6 of which have been focused exclusively on renewable energy projects in the MENA region.
That is very nice. So how do you feel being a woman in our energy sector? Or let me put it a different way. What is your message to young ladies? Why should they choose the energy sector, not the medicine sector or the bank sector? What is it in energy that makes it so unique for us to be in?
I think for me, when I was a baby lawyer and I was choosing which area to practice in, I had the different options of going into banking law or, you know, kind of M&A. And for me, what drew me to projects and infrastructure is that you actually get to build things. Like there is so much about what I do, which is cerebral and words, but at the end of the day, we're making something happen. We're building something physical, and we're building something that's so critically important to the countries that we're impacting in, that it's fantastic to kind of take a step back and look at what you've achieved. I did a project I've done a number of projects in Jordan. I was there on holiday and I actually drove past one of the sites and I was so excited. I screamed at the taxi driver because there was a sign and I made him take a photo of me pointing at it like that. And like, you don't feel the same way about that if you're doing banking and finance and moving one set of numbers to the next set of numbers. Like, it's not the same. So that's the excitement for me, actually.
Yeah.
Building something physical.
It has a lot of influence about everybody who lives on the earth. So let us know a little bit, what do you think, Laura, about the unconscious bias in the Middle East renewables industry? Give us an insight of yourself about this topic.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to talk about unconscious bias kind of in this region, but kind of in these times of COVID, is because I think it's critically important for women to be extra vigilant about this at this time. We're at an opportunity now where people are trying to come out of this COVID pandemic, where I think we all remember the photographs of LA where the sky was blue for once and not covered in smog, and you were hearing about whale songs being heard for miles around, and people started to realize, you know, the world can function in a greener, more sustainable way. And having seen that with our own eyes, there's such an enthusiasm for it. So now is the time where the women who are already in the industry and the ones who are coming up through universities and excited to get into the industry, this is the moment for us to kind of really latch on and push ourselves up and get that excitement and that advancement and that professional opportunity. Now, the issue with unconscious bias, of course, is that it really kicks in moments of crisis. People kind of stop forgetting about what they should do and they go to their gut. They go to what they're used to, what they're familiar with, not what their HR training told them that they should be doing, but really what their gut is.
Yeah.
And so we need to be careful of it. And I've been doing some research around the subject. And of course, our key concerns in times of COVID and women in the industry are keeping the women that we've got, keeping the good women that we've got, and also making sure that the spaces, that the jobs that will become available going forward are given to the best candidates, especially, you know, if they're women, of course.
Yeah.
So there have been some studies that have come out that show the impact of job losses across a number of different sectors. And I think the statistics were something like 39% of the global workforce is made up of females. But the percentage of COVID job losses affecting women is 54%, which is it's a huge disparity. Now, people could argue that a number of that could be factored in because women do a lot of roles such as, you know, healthcare and retail and education, which may be more affected by COVID. But apparently only about a quarter of those job losses can be attributed to the gendered industry. So if you're looking at an industry which is male dominated, where we're already in a minority, 75% of those reasons are not to do with the fact that we're in a female heavy industry, but there are other reasons, and that's where unconscious bias kicks in. And it was troubling to me when I read a survey result that said, it was done by the World Values Survey. And they went around and they asked people, in times of job scarcity, is a man more entitled to a job than a woman? And in the Middle East, in the MENA and South Asia region, over half of the respondents consciously said yes.
Really? So that is a very, very low percentage of woman presence. And I totally agree with you that we must see more. Laura, you're absolutely right. Thank you very much for this insight.
It's about job presence, because if people are looking and they're choosing who they're letting go, and they're choosing between a man and a woman, if their conscious expression in their answer to a questionnaire is that the man should get the job, let alone, heaven forbid, what the actual number with the unconscious bias actually is. That's why it's very important to make sure that that we have these opportunities and that we continue the diversity and inclusion programs, so people continue to be aware that they should not be making decisions on that basis.
Yeah, and then that we bring different things to the table that men cannot give. mainly because we are women. So Noor Musa, hello to you. How are you today?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you.
Hello, Noor. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about Alpine, where you work at.
Yeah. I joined Alpen around 6 years back as a sustainability consultant. And now I'm holding the position of a senior sustainability consultant, being responsible for the implementation of green building requirements in the built environment and in the construction field.
Interesting.
I have expanded my knowledge now to include environmental management and waste management as well. And yeah, we're trying to like make a difference in this.
Yeah. And do you have a lot of women friends in the company where you work at, or at other companies that Alpine work with, or are you quite a rare view in the surrounding of energy?
We are actually like we have a lot of women at Alpen actually, and I have other women in the in this field working at other companies. When I started with Alpen, it wasn't much. Actually, I think the first consultant to work with the technical team, a female working member. But after, with time, actually, we have had a lot of interns joining and employees, women speaking. So yeah, actually, I think we have now around 50% female employees at Alpen.
And I'm sure that the environment with 50% of women is different when you have the majority of men around you. I'm sure that you made a major step ahead at Alpine.
Yes, definitely. Actually, we have a female HR, and that actually makes the difference. When you have a female in a decision-making position, she will hire more women. So that has a big difference there. And actually, being surrounded with men, and especially in the construction, was a little bit disappointing. So with time, actually, they started to hire more women to support, and they had a belief that we have, or women have potentials just as men.
Yes, yes, and that is absolutely right. So Noor, I will be happy to hear from you. What do you think about women in the UAE sustainability market? What are the challenges and opportunities? And you have, let's say, 5 minutes. So please.
I actually had a presentation. I don't know if Anand has mentioned that, but I wanted to display just 2-3 slides about the opportunities and challenges, and we can talk more about the sustainability and the renewable energy market here in UAE.
So of course you can show it.
This screen.
Let me see.
Let's skip this slide.
Here you are.
Okay. Let's skip this introduction. We can jump to these. So, when we talk about the sustainability and what is it like for women in the UAE, we have witnessed actually in the last 2 years, specifically during the 2019 and 2020, a growth in the women empowerment awareness and the organizations that support women leadership. These organizations have and platforms, let's say, have raised the women role issues, and and they play an important turn to encourage women to participate in, let's say, developing the future of the engineering, sustainability, and renewable energy and innovations technologies. Abu Dhabi have hosted back in July 2020 the WISE Women in Clean Energy and WIRE, the women in the Canada's Women in Renewable Energy, the signing ceremony of their partnership that features the inspiring success stories of women in clean energy. That consolidates the role of women in the industry. Another big event that is hosted every year is the Big Five, that celebrates the Women in Construction and the Women in Construction Awards, presenting diversity and inclusion, the next generation woman, and the woman in leadership. They give opportunities to women in construction and engineering field to the opportunities to be represented and to showcase brilliant cases and examples of what women are capable of in a male-oriented sector. Another good example here is the WISER initiative, which is it's a woman in sustainability, environment, and renewable energy forum. Is a Masdar-led impact-focused initiative dedicated to inspiring women and girls to play an active role in addressing global sustainability challenges in different areas, including education, engagement, empowerment, and in order to position women in as drivers of change and innovation. This takes place as part of the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week that is held at Masdar City, and to ensure the women's voices are heard across decision makers, experts, and leaders in this industry. Talking about Alpen and what opportunities they offer for women. So Alpen has demonstrated this commitment by the different ways. They have initiated the diversity or included the diversity and inclusion policy, and under that comes the Alpen Women Initiative that takes steps to enhance the work environment for women in the company in terms of health and welfare, the maternity needs, etc. The commitment is extended actually further to support the women at Alpen by encouraging them to share their experiences and knowledge through participation in conferences, organize local scaled talks and discussions, and publications. Here we have some examples of the interviews and publications we have.
Over there. Yes, Noor, and I see that you were selected as one of the women leaders in the construction area. Congratulations. We can see here your photo.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, it was nominated to the Next Generation Woman, the Big Five Award, back in 2019. Yeah.
So congratulations for that. How long is I forgot the word. These how many years these programs are running?
You mean in the company or in the UAE?
No, in the UAE.
It's been running for a while, actually. I'm not sure about the exact date, but the first time I heard about these was back in, I think 2017 or earlier than that. But that's when I first heard about these women-driven platforms or organizations.
And it's very impressive, I must say. Noor, thank you very much. And thank you for your presentation. Maybe you would like to share it later on with the participants of this, so they can be part of it.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I'm coming here to Ola Jamal Hassan. How are you, Ola?
Good afternoon, Hadas. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Nice to see you today.
Thank you. Same wise.
Ola, tell us a little bit about yourself. How many years are you in the energy sector? What is your company concentrated about? And what is your role? Before I present the question.
Sure. So I've been in the solar industry for 3 years now. I basically started with I was a junior, and thank God that I developed very fast. And basically I'm working in solar systems designing, simulations. I'm working with on-grid types and off-grid types as well. I'm working with different scenarios, water pumping as well for rural areas. So I have started as a solar design engineer. I'm also participating in both the technical and the commercial field, but I'm technical, where I go also to site visits or site analysis so I can perform my design. I'm currently working with Jubaili Bros Solar. So Jubaili Bros has been in the industry for over 40 years, started as a generators company. And yes, so
She's a
we are
woman,
also
right? Oh, oh, oh. Oh my God. Can someone hear Ola Hassan or no? Can you hear me? And can you? Okay, good. Ola, we lost you. Are you with us? So, and you are muted. You are muted, Ola.
yeah, sorry for that. So
No,
I
no,
was
no.
saying I'm working in the solar technical department where I'm participating in the designs, supporting the team, supporting the clients and so on. And my company, Jubaili Bros, has been in the industry for over 40 years with the generators. And the last 5 years, we also established the solar department. We are also value-added partners for Huawei smart inverters.
The Chinese
Yes,
company,
in
yeah.
the Middle East and Africa.
Nice.
And we're also developing right now hybrid solutions for rural areas in Africa and so on.
Wow. So you are really changing the world, exactly like Laura says.
Yes.
What to do for energy. Yeah, that is very nice. So tell me, Ola Jamal, what do you think are the main challenges for females engagement in the renewable energy technical field?
So I believe the
What
renewable
are the challenges?
energy.
Yeah, I wanted to say, what are the challenges that you see for women that men will not meet during their career in energy?
Okay, so basically most of the challenges, first of all, the renewable energy industry is having a quite big imbalance between the genders. And most of the technical roles, like it's less favorably to be for females to be hired in those technical roles, whether technical manager or mostly into project or site-based engineers or managers. I believe mostly also in the Middle East, our society is mostly biased to men regarding technical jobs.
Yeah.
But, and also the fact goes back to some norms and traditions when it comes to females. Some people, I'm sure they have in mind that females can only do mostly administrative jobs or office jobs, non-related to technical. But I believe it's just that the female workforce is underestimated because as females, if you've seen the statistics, if we go back to universities or the grades wise in the science, math, and all of these technologies related fields, females have the same skills, but they're just underestimated. And of course, with more opportunities open to them and more mentorships and trainings, they can do exactly the same jobs. And I believe now it's changing. Yeah, and previously, if you look at it years back, you will rarely find females in sites.
Yeah.
But now, like, even to me, I go to sites and I've seen also other females or other colleagues from my universities. I've met them in the sites as well, performing site visits, performing commissioning, performing installation supervision, acting as project managers. So yeah, that was mostly these obstacles were put by the Society for Women, but of course they can overcome it.
And I think that one of the challenges also, Ola, that we are also mothers, and
Yes.
sometimes we want to be with our children to take care of them whenever, whatever their age is. When they are small, there is a lot of care of parents, and of course also when they are teenagers, we want to be with them and to be sure that they will be also potential for being women in a very influencing sector such as energy.
True. That's actually, I cannot call it an obstruction because it's a part of our lives as females, of course, that we have to balance our lives between the family and the work. That's also a huge factor that is, that is kept in mind when hiring a female. I think that's a big factor.
That is a big factor. And it's also about ourselves to believe that we can do all of it together.
True.
So, Ola, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And it was very impressive to see such a young lady already doing a lot of things in the energy sector.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings me to you, Sabatra Rajendran. I hope I said the name correctly. Sabatra, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm happy.
How are you?
I am fine. Thank you very much. Should I say Subhatra Rajendran or Rajendran?
Subhatra. Subhatra is the first name.
Is the first name. So nice to meet you, Subhatra. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company and what you do today.
Yeah. Thank you, EQ, and thank you, Harda, for the nice introduction. I'm Subhatra Rajendran. I'm proud to say I'm one of the female chemical engineer working in the energy sector for more than 17 years now. Actually, I'm very young to solar, I could say, but I am in the energy industry for more than a decade now. So I think this is the right. I'm very happy to address this forum because all women leaders and women engineers, and our entire forum is filled with the women. So I'm very happy to be addressing this also. So I'm a chemical engineer by profession.
Sorry, please.
Sorry? Yeah.
And we're very happy that you are with us.
Yeah, I'm a from my childhood, I have a passion, like not to do the same kind of, I want somebody to be like doing adventure and exploring things. So when I was about to choose to do my graduation, when I was choosing chemical engineering, people were very surprised because it's entirely filled with a male-dominated field of science. So there are, as quoted by Laura, in the 14% of female engineers, if you see the chemical engineer, there are hardly 5%. And if you see the top leaders in this industry, not even 2% are like in the higher position, like CEO or somebody in the oil and gas industry. So women is a very big challenge in the chemical engineering field because it needs more physical challenges as well, where we cannot fit in more of the industrial places. So this is how it started. So that was the first challenge. And I want to make sure that the job which I'm going to pursue should not be the same on day-to-day basis. So I don't want to get bored at this one. So as I told you, I was quite exploring. So when I was about to choose my career, I have chosen space science first. So then again,
Space science, Subhadra?
yeah, I worked
Wow.
as a scientist engineer in the Indian Space Research Organization in India. So, but entering there, I found that, rocket science, everybody say engineering is a rocket science. Yes, I agree. It is a very big challenge, and you can't even predict the results, when the rocket is launched, then only you will be knowing exactly whether it is working or not. So there is no trial run, there is no sample run or performance test that could be done there. But even then, I don't feel I don't feel I'm very adaptive to that industry. From then on, I quit that space science and I entered into the energy sector in the year 2005. From then on, I'm working as a process engineer in oil and gas industry and renewables. For oil and gas, I have been like 15 years I'm working, and the renewable I started with like 1 or 2 years now. So coming back to my career, there also I worked in a various spectrum, starting from engineering, construction, commissioning, procurement support, and even I went to offshore couple of times.
Wow.
So as pointed out by speakers before me, the energy sector is a very, very male-dominated one. Being a woman in that industry, I have to come across so many hurdles, and especially I have worked in Middle East, Africa, and in Southeast region also. If you come across, apart from gender equality, there are so many social and cultural problems also you have to face it. So the work culture of each country is totally different, and the way the women being treated in the country also, it is like it varies from place to place. So you have to be more adaptive, and it doesn't mean that there are so many opportunities available, but I don't know, like maybe women, we are mainly lagging in the networking, because it is easy for a man to get into a social network or keep him socially active. For being a woman and like leader of the family, it is very difficult for a woman to balance everything. Balancing the career and balancing personal life itself, it's a biggest challenge, and we don't have much time to do the networking. So I could say there is a lack of role model, which is the major problem that the women face in the engineering society, especially in the energy sector, I could say.
That is very much correct, Subhadra. For a man to do networking is very easy, and they have topics that are international, and they can do it with each other. But what is the opportunity that you see for women in the energy sector? These are the challenges. What are the opportunities as a lady? I can say a few of them, but I'm sure that
if there is a problem, there should be a solution. We were lagging in finding the solution. I could say like that. Because, if we are capable to balance our career and family, then the women is much, much superior. They can do more miracles and challenges. That is well proven during this pandemic situation itself. If you see the country which has bring about the control of COVID, is the country which is led by women leaders, like New Zealand or Germany, like that. So, and the energy is the important and necessary for the women, especially for cooking or doing household everything. So in stating that the solar is replacing wherever the electric power is there, and the good point is that especially in Middle East, because of the potential of the sunlight available during the daytime, and in the African region, it is very good that we can store that energy and we can consume it, and it is one of the sustainable clean energy. So
Right.
that is the thing. In terms of opportunity, I could say, first thing, start exploring, find out what is what. First, you should know and get the knowledge about solar. That is more important. And if you are a student, or if you are suggesting for your friends or relatives, you should tell them since it is a booming industry, there are more and more opportunities for women engineers to pursue and excel their caliber.
I
So
totally
we have
agree
to,
with you.
yeah.
I totally agree with you. You're absolutely right. And let's not forget that being a lady in the room is different than being a man in the room, right?
That's what I was. The next point is like that. Even though, if you see, like with lot of struggle, you are doing the engineering, but after engineering, if you see how many women are working, and how many women are like carrying their jobs further to the lead role is very, very less. You know, because the women is basically controlled by the age demography also. We have not only the like social pressure, we have our personal physical problem we have, because at 30 you should get married, and before 40 you should have kids. You know, those diversions make you not to concentrate, and this is the age you have to focus on your career itself. But
You're
because of this
absolutely right.
personal commitments, many women fail. You know, it's not only the physical, it is a psychological problems which come into the minds of women, which is, even though they are capable, they have to break their dreams. They have to like stop with their passion, and they have to take care of the family. This is the condition
This is a
now.
real challenge. You are absolutely right, Subhatra. Thank you so much. It is very interesting. Thank you. And here we come to you, Sandhya Prakash. Thank you very much for waiting. How are you, Sandhya?
I'm really good, Harel. How are you today?
I am happy to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sandhya. I think that maybe tell us a little bit about your journey as an environmental entrepreneur in the Middle East. And I have some more questions for you. So I would like you to take 2 minutes. Tell us a little bit about your journey before I present the other questions for you.
Sure, Hadas. Awesome ladies, lovely to be in your company here. I've been in this region for 25 years now. And
Wow.
Post my graduation from middle of the desert in Rajasthan in a college called BITS Pilani, the sand has beckoned me. It looks like I was in the IT industry for 2 years, and then got married and moved to Saudi Arabia. And what a country. I thought, my husband said, and we'll be there for 2 years, and we stayed there for 11 years. So
Wow.
I think that country showed me what it is to be a woman. Okay. And there was no jobs other than teachers or healthcare. And that was not a field that I was in, and neither was I a teacher nor that. So I became an entrepreneur, and I started my own company, and this is the 8th company that I've helped start, with loads of support from the entire region. And right now, as an entrepreneur, all I can say that Saudi Arabia showed me what it is to be a woman, and how things can still work as long as you're strong, courageous, and have the support of your family and husband.
Yeah,
Okay?
when your attitude is positive, what is the support that you got, Sandhya? Give us some words about that.
The thing in Saudi Arabia in the 90s, Hadas, was women were not allowed to go out. So one of the main things was, if most of my friends spent time in hosting coffee mornings and not going out and doing stuff because the husbands were scared. So one of my major support has been that my husband used to give me a NOC letter, because with that no objection certificate, I could take a flight and go to Jeddah, go to Riyadh, and come back the same day, because hotels didn't allow us to stay overnight alone unless we were accompanied by men, right? So those days of Saudi and today is such a sea change. And it is so fantastic to bring that experience and know that, when I was brought up, I was never, we were 2 sisters, and parents never said you cannot do this or you can do that. We were like, men and women were the same. But coming into the environmentalist part, I've always been a very passionate naturalist. So in college, I was a bird watcher, and the hobby continued for 30 years. And what I found there again was, if you see in nature, all the female species, they are pretty unattractive.
They are what?
They are unattractive, right? Because yeah, the female species in nature, like birds, for example,
Oh yeah, right. We are
they are
not
very
attractive.
attractive, right? They don't
Yeah,
dress up, they're not colorful. Whereas the male species, a
right.
peacock and a peahen, or look at anything. So
Yes.
when you look at it, I used to always question, why is it that it's the reverse expectation with human beings, where we have to dress up, we have to charm, it's always been the other way. So interesting comparisons, but I think this forum is about how my passion at least, turned into profession. And I started Beacon Energy 5 years ago as an entrepreneur, because I wanted to make an impact, not just sit there and talk about the environment, but actually bring in carbon footprint reduction in companies in all the urban environment. So Beacon
Yeah,
is
you wanted to make a
a
change.
solar company. Yeah.
Really, that is really a very beautiful story, and we are very proud of you. So tell us tell us what is the community project that you made? How did you teach solar cooking for students at the UAE? And tell us at the same time why women, solar, and energy work as natural fit. We
Okay, so
are
let
happy
me do
to.
your second question first, right? So see, sun and the moon are two forms of um, energy beings around us. So I'm just
Yeah.
taking it to a little philosophical level. Sun is a very masculine energy, and the moon is a very feminine energy. And that's how, as men and women, we exist on this planet, right? So when women get into solar, we actually are extremely cooling for this particular industry. It is a natural fit for us. To be in this industry. This is my read. Okay, so that's the first thing I would say, where there is a natural fit. The second thing you asked me about community. So as Beacon Energy, when we started the company, we are a startup. We did not have funds to do marketing and sales. I know Ola and all of them, they are my partners, of course, Huawei and NG and others. So we didn't have the funds to do all the marketing. And so I involved myself in training about 800 students in solar cooking, going to the schools, and we had these little kits and we really taught them. We also spoke, somebody said I got introduced to the solar 1 year ago, but no, we have been doing clothes drying, right? From the beginning, it is solar energy. There's nothing other than that. So when you actually put it in perspective for the students, they say, oh yeah, vegetables ripen in the sun. So it was a very beautiful interaction to build that community around. Otherwise, Beacon has won various awards for solar air conditioners that we have created. We've actually been an incubator for new solutions in this region. And I'm also a mentor for many founders and entrepreneurs as part of my university, Women Innovator, which is again a new women's organization in innovation, and Founder Institute, which we assist, because this generation with AI and digitization adds so much value to an industry like solar. And solar is not new. We've had it for 30 years. Thank God for the oil industry going a little back. Now we are in power, right? And the climate change and the COVID. And it is like, for 25 years, a long-term solution has come. So what you said in the beginning, Hadas, was perfect, saying it is now our time. So I think the renewable energy is here to stay.
And this is, I really like the way that you treat energy also in a spiritual way. I very much like your explanation about the sun and the moon. And you're right. Maybe we are the moon, and we have to bring our
power. Our cooling
Yes.
power and our spirit is what this industry needs. Period.
Exactly. And sometimes you need softness, and sometimes you need a skirt and not only a pants around the table. And I think that when we see this as an advantage, along with our other limitations that we have as a woman, then the sky is the limit, and we can do a very beautiful work Sandhya, that was beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, EQ team. And I think there's so many lessons to learn, especially even Egypt, has loads of lessons to teach us from the sun god. So I highly recommend the audience to read up, and also our panelists, with the raw.
Would you write about it to us by email, and we will spread it for all the listeners?
Sure. I keep writing stuff on my LinkedIn as well, so do come over. And
we will, and we have a lot to
engage.
learn from you.
Yeah, as a
25
group,
years, is that
as a community, I think as women, if we get together, it is going to be our multitaskers. We are so good at prioritizing. We are so good at bringing a semblance of calm and peace. We are also very naughty. Huh? We can also cause a lot of problems in teams. So we need to be wary of that and not get into the nitty-gritties. But if we play on our strength, we can bring in huge amount of change into this particular industry and really impact.
I totally agree with you, Sandhya. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings me to you. Hello, Sumaya Al-Rawhawi. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am very good. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you.
Sumaya, tell us a little bit also about yourself, about the role that you make in your company and about your company. We are very much happy to hear.
So I'm the founder and the CEO of Green Universe Enterprise that is a renewable energy EPC. We are based here in Oman. Our vision is to use the best in nature to make our planet more sustainable place to live.
Amen. Hope so.
Thank you.
And Sumaya, I would like to present for you the following question. Tell us a little bit about your experience, the journey, the achievements, and the challenges that you had as a founder of a university of renewables. And why do you see renewables as an earth saver? What is it in the renewables that we can save the earth together with that?
So I can summarize all of these questions in a story that I can give it to you.
With pleasure.
Yeah, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start first. I would like to start with the journey of my education and my business. Since my childhood, my dream was to be a petroleum engineer, same as my father. Until 2010, during my final year in high school, my father introduced a renewable energy to me. At that time, I didn't know anything about renewable energy, and this is so I'm ashamed to say that we are so uneducated about renewable energy, to the point that he had to do a lot of research to tell me that this is the future of the market and the future of Oman. So I had to do research for 1 year, and I had to read a lot about renewable energy. At the end of my high school year, I chose renewable energy because I was really interested at the beginning in the energy sector, but I was leaning more into non-renewable resources. But after reading more about renewable energy and the different resources of renewable energy and the types, I saw that we are gifted with free, clean energy that we are not utilizing at all in our country. And I wanted to make a change. I wanted to do something different in the country. This is why I was saying we have something that is available in our country, but we're not utilizing, and it's not harming our environment. It's environmental friendly. So this is where the whole story started, and this is why I decided that I'm going to go for renewable energy, and this is where all the challenges started, actually. So I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Continue, Sumaya.
So first thing that I faced was I found really hard time to get a scholarship to study renewable energy engineer. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't easy to find the right school. So I found the only school in the United States, and that was Oregon Institute of Technology. That was the only school that offered 4 years degree at that time. I went over there, I attended that school. When I entered this program, I thought that I'm in this United States, so I should be finding more female students in my class. So it's an open country, you know, it's everything
Yeah,
is.
democratic.
So
Yeah.
I thought that I'm gonna find a lot of female in my classroom, but unfortunately, we were only 3 students in my classroom.
Really?
3 female students, 3 students. However, I found out that I got really disappointed about what happened, and I just had to continue the study because it was my passion. I graduated in 2017 with specialization in solar energy engineering. I knew that I will never get a job in Oman. But before that, I would like to say that I was the first Omani woman to graduate with a renewable energy engineering program.
Wow.
Yeah. And I knew that I really would never find a job when I come back to Oman, because even if solar business and renewable energy business was very new to the country, so it's really hard to find a job in this country for a renewable energy engineer. And even if I find it, if I find something. Sorry?
Jaikish? Yeah, no, please continue, Sumaya. It was
All
a
right.
mistake.
So even if I find a job, it would be for men rather than, they would rather hire a man rather than a female. So just a senior during my senior year, I thought about establishing my own company and my own business in renewable energy sector. I didn't want the normal thing, opening a salon or shopping store. I didn't want the normal thing that all the women in Oman is moving forward with. I just wanted something very unique, and I wanted something that I could have a value in my country, and it's new to the country. So this is where I started thinking about business, but I knew exactly that I wasn't really good with business because I don't have any business background. So before my graduation, the Chinese embassy offered me a scholarship to study in China, MBA.
Really?
And, yeah. And I specialized in entrepreneurship. Yeah. Right after coming back to Oman, this is where I started my company and I established my company. And at the same time, I accepted the Chinese embassy's scholarship offer. This is so that I can have knowledge in business as well as establish a strong relationship with the Chinese and the connections itself in the manufacturer and the PV system. Also to see the new technologies in China in terms of renewable, because they are ahead of us. So it was a chance for me to see all of that. During my 2 years period in China, along with my
I'm sorry, Sumaya, there are some people with unmuted.
I know that's okay.
Excuse me, Miss Mehta, can you unmute yourself? Miss Mehta? Yes. Okay. Go ahead, Sumaya.
You can unmute everyone. You can mute everyone.
Yes, Anand, can you mute everyone except Sumaya?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
And yourself.
Yeah. So please, Sumaya, continue.
All right. So during my stay in China, I was able to be an intern in one of the top manufacturers in China for the PV modules, as well as the solar EPCs in China as well. So in parallel with that, I was trying to get my company to be approved solar EPC in Oman. First time, it was to get myself to be approved as a solar junior engineer in the country and in the company itself. And I was rejected due to lack of working experience. And then the second time, I was rejected due to being a woman. And there was someone who said, how can we give a solar approval for a company owned and run by women? They said this is just not okay to give it. They didn't trust. So this is what they said. Third time, due to
a woman with a company, right?
Right. So they didn't trust us. I mean, they said women can't be running such business in such field.
Yeah.
So the third time, due to engineers not complying with the full regulations and high expectation of the government, they rejected. However, the fourth time, I managed to get the approval with the top grade in solar, because we have several grades. My company was at the top, and it was such an achievement because it's hard for an SME to get a top grade, which is S3. And we can do, with S3, we can do any size of solar from low voltages to the high voltages. So this was such an achievement. And I'm also proud to announce that my company was the first and only Omani woman-owned solar EPC approved by the government and the authority itself.
Wow,
So,
Sumaya, congratulations. What beautiful panelists today we have.
Thank you so
So
much.
many achievements, Sumaya. That is
Thank
really giving me the real hope that also the whole Middle East will live in peace with like exactly like we saw the peace process recently by Israel and UAE, Dubai, Bahrain. So
Right.
Yes,
I really hope this
landmark.
Yes.
That was completely landmark. And welcome to the region officially. Unofficially, you have been around, all of you, for many years. But, you know, just a quick point on this. You know, birds always, they have no borders. And I used to wonder, you know, how can you not acknowledge one country which is right there for whatever reason? You know, you've come from somewhere else and got a land here. But
Yeah.
I am so happy. You know, now I'm happy to leave this region whenever needed. So,
Thank you, Sandhya. And you know, my parents were immigrated to Israel from Iran because they were Jewish Iranian. And I have a dream to bring the peace with Iran by myself. So
I can happily say shalom.
Shalom, shalom, namaste, hello,
Yeah.
marhaba. So I would like also, first of all, Sumaya, thank you very much for what you shared today with us. And is Miss Abla Gadol, is she with us today?
You're welcome.
Aman, Miss Abla? No. Is Miss Iman Adel, is she with us? She's also one of the panelists.
Yeah, ma'am. She's facing some problem with it.
Jaikish, is Miss Iman
You can hear
with
me?
you?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. She's trying to resolve the problem. She's facing some internet issue, connection issues.
Okay, so
I just talked to her.
we will wait for her. No problem. Few minutes. I wanted to say something also between us that I think that is also all of you told that Subhatra said that and Laura said that and of course you Sandhya that and Ola we talked about it also that being women is and feeling more and being more soft and know how to feel more passionate sometimes and know how to be mothers. Maybe this brings some skills that the men cannot bring, and maybe we have to be more proud of it and bring it to the table, you know, and to insist that those skills will be part of making business wherever we are and whatever we do. You don't have to be very business doesn't have to be in the male shape. It could be also in our shape, in the female shape, that is more understanding, more consisting.
Yeah,
and I think that all of the competition that also you have Noor in your country. It's very important. It's very important that we will do the competitions and bring women to the front. Subhatra, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I wish to highlight here the another point. Actually, I worked in Italy for 2 years. I don't know Italian. I don't speak much of Italian. Okay, and before, I was working in Congo also. In Congo, the native language is the local language, Lingala, and French. I don't even speak a little bit of French till now. Okay, so it's not the language, it's not the race or the gender which stop you from achieving something. It is the passion and it is your hard work and the dedication you give to anything, whatever you do, that makes you the best who you are. So rather than asking for empowerment, diversity and other things, we should give out the best version of ourselves. That is what as a women engineer, we should do it.
And to give example to our daughters and to our sons.
Yeah,
If our
exactly.
sons when they will be married, they will give, they will feel equal with their woman, with their wives. Then we made a change. If we give our daughters the feeling that they are equal to the husbands, we made a change. So it starts from our own home. And I hope that we will be successful also about that. I think that we can decide that when the COVID-19 will be over, we can even make a session face-to-face and meet. And
Yeah, sure.
for me, I will be more than proud to see all of you in Israel, but of course, we can do it somewhere else. And I think Jaikish and Anand, would you like to take our session and have the closing words?
Yes,
Please.
definitely. So I would love to thank you all for a very, very meaningful and insightful session. It was very interesting to hear all of you. And as Heather said, so we love to make it like a proper physical conference. Probably we can decide the venue once the COVID is over. And
Let's do it.
yeah. So thank you very much for joining. Have a nice evening. Be very safe. And we have shared the video link on the WhatsApp group that we have created. So we'll request you to please share it on your social media profiles. So
Yes,
that
Anand, I see some people have some questions. Before we close up, let's give us some of the participants that have.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so first of all, I see that one Miss Aviva, she would like to have our emails. Do you have? Are you ready to share your emails, panelists? Are you happy to share your emails with the listeners? Yeah. Okay, of course. Let me see some more of the questions. Sandhya, there is a question for you.
Sure.
You are such an inspiring lady. Greetings from EasyTech Automatic Solar Panel Cleaning Robots, local manufacturers and customers designers for rooftop solar installations. And they invite you to visit their website, so maybe you see it.
Sure.
Yeah. Mr. Dimple Naik said, what are the opportunities in Middle East when it comes to solar industry? Maybe someone from your
opportunities.
Sandhya, would you like to
just start with one point and then maybe others can take over? Opportunities in solar, there is abundant sun. Everything works here. So as long as we have anything that saves water and is working on the high energy panels. One thing that doesn't work very well here, being an incubator and having tried over 20 products here, I can say that because of the very high heat, which is about 40-45 degrees for almost 3 to 4 months of the year, we need to do a lot of testing of any products that you decide to launch in this region. The other major area is your IP65 for water, which everybody does, but nobody realizes how much of the equipments need to be tested for sand, because the fine grain of sand that comes here for any moving parts is phenomenal, so the thorough testing in how much sand gets put there. Plus, that is why I like both I see Monica and Samhita, two people here who are in solar cleaning. I think it's a very important task in sustainability. If we want our products to last for longer, cleaning is a big area that needs to be focused on. And so these are just two things. Maybe others have other points.
I'm sorry, this is Monica. Yeah, thank you, Sandhya. You were right about this. Sorry, just for a short introduction. I'm Monica and I'm also an entrepreneur in the solar industry. We make solar panel cleaning bots, and Sandhya is absolutely right. We do face our own challenges with the temperatures that the Middle East reaches. And we are, I think, constantly working on how to try and meet all the needs of all the solar plant owners or any developers who are here. Due to high investments made by everyone, it's not easy getting more expenditure, especially on the operations and the maintenance that people have to spend. Thank you for the, thank you to all the panelists. Everyone has been very, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monica. I agree with you very much that the cleaning is a very important issue for solar. And this is something that also we as women can do a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. I promise you that we will stay in contact. Anand and Mr. Jaikish, please do your best to keep us as a group. I think we made the first step for an important session today, important journey. And I would like to thank all of you for participating. I wish all of you good luck, whatever you do, and good health. And never forget that we have a lot to do and we can do it at the most successful way. So thank you very much. And
thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much, everyone. And we promise that we'll give you enough networking and meeting opportunities. Just pray to the God that COVID-19 gets over. And especially in India, it's getting worse. So we hope that it gets over soon.
But Anand, don't you think there is a lot more equal opportunity when we come online like this, like women and men, we all are like so equal, even if when we meet outside, no, but here it's completely equal opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. No, definitely. So webinar as a platform in this entire, we've done almost, I think, close to 85, 90 webinars. And by the end of this calendar year, it will be close to 125 webinars. So lot more topics, lot more people can be brought out, and lot more people can be given opportunity to speak their heart and mind out, interact. Even cross-border networking, which was not that simple, is now enabled with webinars. So we at EQ understood that, at the start of the pandemic, that we have to do something. Otherwise, industry will be like having no place to meet or talk or interact. So we are committed, and we are very glad that the event went on very successfully. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best in your journey professionally and in families as well. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.